Now let's get to the real machine and get it ready.
Welcome to Outlaw Creations. Today it's all about these teeth right here. And basically if you see these teeth, let me zoom in on this. Okay, right here you can see, look at that, look how small that one is. But I've got a really big project coming up and we need to change these teeth. They're really smashed. I'm hoping I can pound them out from the inside. But usually I use a punch, and basically I just come up from the lowest part. You can see these are already sticking up on the bottom, so I'm going to try to pound them out that way. Now you can reuse these pins. I always, when I buy new teeth, I'll buy new pins, but I always save these because sometimes they fall out, and if you catch them in time, you can put it back. It might take some work to get that off of there. Let's get the other pin out. Actually, what I should use, I've got a little air hammer. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, what I'm gonna try right here, normally I'll just pound them out, but this is a little Senko little impact hammer, and I've created this little tool that fits right down in there, and we're going to see if this works to just blast them out. Might be a little easier than trying to pound them. We shall see. Now this can be pretty noisy too. So you can see I didn't even notice it, but that was actually wore through, and you couldn't even tell. That's not good. You don't want to wait that long, for sure. So let's get a wire brush. We'll clean these up and install some new ones. It's pretty crazy that I actually wore that one right through, or not that one. This one. Look at that. That's bad. You don't really want to do that. Because then you can buy new ones of these. So if you wore that one, if you broke that one off or something, you could actually weld a new one of these pieces on. But it's a lot better not to do that, for sure. And I'm just going to clean the dirt off a lot of these and see if these other ones will slop right on. Yeah, I've got this project down on my other property, and when they're round like this, like that, it's not that big a deal if you're picking up rocks or something. But if you're digging around trees, you want some nice new sharp teeth, because you want to be able to kind of dig through some of those roots and stuff. Matter of fact, even this edge right here, it's pretty rounded. I might take and sharpen that up a little bit right in these three spots. It'll make it a little easier for cutting through some of those trees. Yeah, I've got 35 trees to knock down in this property that I'm developing down the road. Now let's get these on, and I'll show you how easy it is. Now you can buy all different kinds of these. You can buy just regular pointed ones. You can buy two-prong ones, flat ones like this. And that one looks good. That one looks good. Yeah, that's the worst one right there. So let me see if these will, normally, see, like if you look at these right there, they've got a rubber thing in the middle. And basically what happens is when you pound these in, and they can go in either way, they're kind of double-ended. When you pound these in, they squish down and compress out. So they really can't come, it's hard for them to come out. Okay, I'm gonna stop myself right there. Let's zoom into that pin. I didn't notice till I watched this videos, but do you see the little dimples right there? I'll point the arrow. They're supposed to be facing the other way. And it shows you a picture of it right on the side of the tooth. My bad, I'll have to reverse that one. And that's it right there. Now I'm gonna save all these old ones just in case, you know, when I'm digging, I lose one. This one felt like it wasn't really going on. But I don't know, maybe I'm... Let's see if it works. Beautiful. And there you go. All new teeth. They look a little different, huh? A little better. I've never done one that's really bad on my part to let that go that long. But here you can see it's pretty easy to change your teeth. And now we're gonna get out there and see if we can't knock down some trees. And of course, the first day I was out, that one did fall off. And I tried to find it with a metal detector, but at this point, I still haven't found it, so I had to put a new one on, which was kind of a bummer. Don't let your teeth get this bad. I was really disappointed that I let it go that long. Anyway, next up, before we go do this project, this is a pretty big project. I want to make sure this thing's ready to work, you know, a 10-hour day. No problem. So we're going to grease the swivel. We're going to grease everything right now. You know, even though I grease it every time, I don't necessarily grease the whole swivel each time. But whenever you do the swivel, you grease it in every 45 degrees. You basically turn it 45 degrees, grease it, turn it 45 degrees, grease it. And you do that 4 times, and that kind of takes care of that. And then you just go through the whole machine and make sure everything's greased up. And yeah, it's pretty normal routine. If I know I'm going to work a hard day with this machine, I'll go through and really make sure I don't see anything wrong. I'll look for any leaks. I'll check the oil, check the fluids. Just kind of a smart idea to, you know, go through it. And the greasing's super important to do that every day, or before you take off. You don't necessarily have to grease the swivel, although I've got it set up to do it every 10 hours. I think they might even say that you don't have to do it that often, but I've got mine set up like every 10 hours. And then basically before I go out on any project, I give them all a squirt, usually at least 3 on each one. And then today, because the job's tomorrow, I'm going to clean off all this dust. I'm going to clean out my air filter. I'm going to use a little degreaser, and then basically I'll let it all dry out today. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to be off to this job. And It's good to clean it off too, because you can kind of, it's easier to see, like, if you clean it all up real good and then you let it dry and then you go out on a job, I'm using some gunk degreaser, but if any leaks do show up, any grease, you'll be able to spot it right away. And that's always good, to just keep your machine clean. This poor machine's been working up in the rocks for a long time, and I like to try to take care of it as much as possible. Anyway, yeah, this is, tomorrow we will go down and I'll show you how I knock down a few trees with this machine.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll be clearing a 1-acre lot filled with 80-foot pine trees.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.